Bill O'Reilly here, Wednesday, November 13th, 2019. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. The Democrats' impeachment probe goes public. The Supreme Court makes a historic decision on mass shooting lawsuits. The Trump administration considers another tax cut for the middle class. Hillary Clinton hints at a third run for the White House. Also ahead, the message of the day on the impeachment hearings. But first, the impeachment inquiry going public. Two diplomats, William Taylor, George Kent, answering questions over Donald Trump's dealings with Ukraine and whether he used foreign policy for political gain. The president calling the hearings a, quote, total scam. The witnesses today have already made anti-Trump statements, so the outcome of the testimony is already known. The Supreme Court ruling the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims can sue gun makers for the 2012 mass murder. The justice is refusing to release any direct comments on their decision, but rejected Remington Arms' appeal to stop the pending lawsuit. The company manufactures the AR-15 rifle used by Adam Lanza in his attack that killed 20 first graders and 6 adults at the Connecticut elementary school. Important ruling going forward, as now all gun makers will be subject to litigation. The Trump administration is considering a second middle-class tax cut should the president win the 2020 election, lowering rates to 15% for average earners. The current system taxes most income at 12 to 24%. Hillary Clinton telling a British radio station she'll never say never when it comes to a third run for the White House, claiming she's under enormous pressure from many people to jump into the race. The many people line is interesting as polling does not show a demand for Mrs. Clinton. San Francisco's new district attorney saying low-level crimes like public urination will no longer be prosecuted by his office. The new DA, Chesa Bodine, calling the arrests a waste of time. The radical attorney won the office by a very small margin over the loud objections of the police unions. In a moment, impeachment. It's just sad. Right back. Are you a U.S. veteran? American Financing wants to say a huge thank you for your service. If you have not taken advantage of your VA benefits, then now is the time to call American Financing. They can customize a VA loan for your new home purchase or refinance. Even if you've previously used a VA home loan, you still have access to the program. Doesn't matter if you've been out of the military for months or years, you can still use your benefits. Take advantage of zero down payment on your new home purchase with no mortgage insurance. You can also refinance to lower your mortgage rate, access cash, or consolidate high-interest debt. Whatever you need, American Financing has salary-based mortgage consultants ready to assist you. Takes only 10 minutes to get started. Please call 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557, or apply online at AmericanFinancing.net. American Financing, America's home for home loans. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Impeachment, the TV show. Well, this is a sad display, and it doesn't really matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or a libertarian. If you are a loyal American, why would you want to see something like this? President Trump is a controversial leader, no question about it, but in less than a year, he will run for re-election. If the voting public thinks he did something wrong, whether it's Ukraine or anything else, they can boot him out of office. Why do we need a partisan impeachment process? Remember, not one Republican in the House of Representatives voted for this impeachment inquiry. Not one. And Republicans in the Senate have already said, lacking more evidence or new displays of wrongdoing, the president will not be convicted of any crime in the Senate, and the whole thing will evaporate. And if there were any new evidence, it would already be out. So this is clearly a partisan effort on the part of the Democratic Party, allied with the media, to remove Donald Trump before the vote next year. Now, if you look back at the recent impeachments of Richard Nixon and Bill Clinton, they were not partisan exercises. Richard Nixon was never impeached because he resigned, but he would have been because his reelection committee sanctioned a break-in of the National Democratic Committee headquarters at the Watergate Hotel in Washington. Now, whether Nixon knew about that break-in in advance or not, nobody knows. But he covered it up, and that was proven. And that's a crime. So he had to leave, and he did. As far as Bill Clinton's concerned, he committed perjury. Everybody knows that. It was proven. He lost his law license for doing it. But the Senate did not believe that action should have removed President Clinton from office. Thus, he was acquitted in the Senate. Now, a political break-in is a crime. Perjury is a crime. Those are impeachable offenses, obviously. Is there any crime calling up the president of Ukraine, asking for an investigation into possible corruption that may have occurred in that country that affected the election of 2016? No, there's no crime, and there's no crime even asserted. Again, this is a political exercise that hurts the country because vexing problems are not being dealt with. The whole thing, of course, came to light by the whistleblower, who we now know is a partisan Democrat working with a lawyer who wanted to impeach Donald Trump the first day he took office. So this is a contrived situation. And Adam Schiff, the head of the House Judiciary Committee, is right in the middle of this and lied about it. So all Americans should understand what's going on here. This is the real problem. Because we're impeaching Donald Trump, or trying to, every future president can be put through this ordeal. And the press coverage, well, we'll deal with that tomorrow. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message. For more analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com, where we do a no-spin news broadcast every evening. Up next, something you might not know. Finding a good real estate agent who understands your needs can be incredibly difficult. My friend Glenn Beck started the service realestateagentsitrust.com to make sure you get connected with agents who are ambitious and have a long and successful track record. They're agents who are experts in your town and do business like you with your values. I heard a story of a family whose home had been on the market for more than a year, and they were facing a difficult scenario of what to do next. They learned about Real Estate Agents I Trust, and after contact, a real estate agent was able to go in, make some changes to the house, and then sold the house within 3 weeks. This is why I endorse realestateagentsitrust.com. No pinheads, just great agents. I wouldn't hesitate to use Real Estate Agents I Trust if I were going to sell my home. So get moving today with realestateagentsitrust.com. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Americans love automobiles, and that's well defined, stretching back more than a century. Millions of us use our cars to enhance our lives. The rise of the suburbs following World War II made car ownership a must for middle-class families, and that remains true today. There are currently more than 275 million vehicles on the road in the USA, and I think I see most of them on the Long Island Expressway. Less than 10% of American homes don't have a car, while a majority have at least two. Traffic in many places can be unbearable. Economists predict more than 17 million cars will be sold in America this year, and that statistic does not include used vehicles, which, of course, are known as pre-owned cars and trucks in the showrooms. Pre-owned, not used. However, it's not all good news for the auto industry. According to a recent AAA survey, car ownership is becoming more difficult for many Americans. The average new vehicle costs $37,000, about $10,000 shy of the median yearly income in this country. Maintenance fees rising, costing an average of $1,400 a year just to keep the vehicle on the road. And what good is a new car if you can't afford gas? National fuel prices are currently about $2.70 a gallon. That's the average. But some residents in California and the Northeast are paying $5 a gallon for gas because of bad energy policies in their states. The downward trend in car ownership is largely driven by young Americans. A poll by Cox Automotive shows 45% of millennials no longer think owning a vehicle is necessary. That number jumps to 55% for those in their early 20s. And here's something you might not know. The biggest factor impacting car ownership, the rise of Uber. There are 50,000 new Uber drivers a month across the country, and some people say it's cheaper to hitch a ride on Uber than drive a car yourself. Back after this. You've been hearing about gold all over the news. Prices continue to climb. Not surprising. Experts warning a recession could happen. But pay attention to the banks. Some of them ran out of cash last Monday night and had to borrow money from the Federal Reserve. Since last week, more than $500 billion has been printed and given to the banks just so they could stay in business. Sound familiar? Remember in 2008 when the Fed had to bail out the banks? Well, it's happening again. Americans are looking for stability, and many are turning to gold and precious metals as a way to protect their savings and retirements. That's why I recommend that you contact American Hartford Gold Group now to learn more. To get you started, American Hartford Gold Group will gift you a free silver coin. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is call them. 877-444-GOLD. That's 877-444-GOLD. So please give them a call today to claim your free coin. Available for a limited time only. 877-444-4653. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.